All right, everybody, welcome back to another awesome episode of the Agent Experience. I am Alan Lozano with the Property Hermanos Group, and what we do here on the Agent Experience is we tell the stories behind the agents. Guys, today we have a very special guest. Her name is Vilma Pineda, and when you think about a top-notch realtor, she should be at the very top of your mind. Originally from LA, Los Angeles, California, working now in San Antonio and surrounding areas. And Vilma is an industry veteran. This is her only career. She's only worked in real estate related careers. She was in new home sales for 12 years and then made the transition as a full-time realtor 4 years ago, which is awesome. She's a very accomplished agent, and she is the team leader of the V International Realty Group. Now, let's talk about some accolades. Vilma has a lot of them. She is a 3-time EXP Icon agent, a NAREP Top 10 Latino Realtor, 2-time Platinum Top 50 Realtor, and the San Antonio Business Journal number 13 person in real estate. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Vilma Pineda, team leader of the V International Group. What's going on, Vilma? How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm excited to see you and be here with you.
Awesome. Excited to have you, man. What a resume. And what I love the most about it, I asked Vilma some questions beforehand, and I said, well, what did you do before real estate? She said, all I've done is real estate. And that's amazing. So tell us how the transition from new home sales has made it easier, or maybe posed some challenges for getting in as a full-time realtor. What enticed you to get in on the full-time real estate side other than new home sales?
What enticed me? That was not in the questions that you.
That was not. This is right off the top of the head here.
So, what really transitioned me was I was just ready to. I thought slow down, believe it or not, because I was so used to selling 80, 100 homes a year as a builder rep. I was, working every single weekend, every single holiday, and I was just a slave to the builder. So I wanted to have my weekends off.
Right. Sure. Wouldn't we all,
Right. Well, I'm in transition to finally, take a breather and do so, but it wasn't like that the first 3 years. I still had to hustle, still had to grind, but it is getting a lot easier to start exiting,
for sure.
As an entrepreneur. Awesome. I'm never going to fully exit, but just truly focus on the things that matter the most to me and just building my empire. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm sure we'll talk about it here in the interview, but I know for a fact that Vilma spends a lot of her time and a lot of her effort and a lot of her energy pouring back in to her agents, really trying to give back, teaching them what she knows. So that's awesome that you can step back a little bit, really provide that value for the agents on your team and really help them grow and get to where you are and were in production and even go farther. So that's awesome.
Yes.
So, all right, well, let's go ahead and jump in. We have some questions. These are the questions that we have prepared for you. So let's go ahead and jump in.
Okay.
All right, Vilma. So what's one piece of advice with your 12 years in the real estate industry? What's one piece of advice that you had received when you first started, and how has that shaped your approach to your career?
Okay, so with being with the builder, like I said, I was always selling. So our mindset was next. It was very transactional. Sometimes they would buy homes that were finished or inventory homes, and I would see them 2-3 times and talk to them a few times, and then that was it. I was in a very fast, community, So now I've changed that approach. I've had to slow it down and just build those relationships. That's what's really changed. I wish I would have known that since day one. I was so busy trying to be, top producer, salesperson of the month, and the accolades, and I would forget people's names. I didn't know. I was young. I was in my 20s. I was like 21, 22, 23. So that's one thing I wish I would have known back then. It's, just keep them all coming and build those relationships. Now that I'm a little bit more mature, with the Lord and spiritually, I know I could have helped so many more people, with just personal things, divorces or not, maybe wouldn't have happened, just restoration, everything that I'm doing now. I wish I would have been doing it all along, besides just, hey, Vilma's a great realtor.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that. And I know you take a lot of pride in putting the spirituality aspect of
Right.
your business and with the people that you serve. So I love that. And just like, our fellow EXP realtor extraordinaire, awesome coach, Ricky Caruth, he always talks about relationships over transactions.
Hmm.
And this is a very much relationship business. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And I was taught differently. I was taught, next.
Right. And yeah, and we are in a high-paced sales
Mhm.
environment.
Mhm.
So a lot of times it's and what do they always teach us? The next deal is the most important deal is always the next deal.
Right.
You're always going next. So yeah, but really
Always
take
be
the time.
closing. Always be closing.
Right. And you're still closing, and you're probably closing more now that you take the time to build those relationships
Mhm.
with your
Right.
clients.
Right. That would
I
not
love
as
it.
much
Okay.
effort.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay, cool. So talking about helping people with new builds and helping people purchase and sell real estate, do you have a memorable success story where you helped a client achieve their dream, and how did that impact you both personally and professionally?
I have several. I mean, there's so many, from helping single mothers and them becoming investors and, breaking those generational curses and just let them be like the providers for their children, to people who have got back together and bought other homes together and restored. There's just been so many other brand new babies I've been able to hold and experience from just families. So there's just so many. I cannot narrow it down to one specific one.
Right.
It's not fair for everyone, because I've experienced so many different people that have really impacted me and shaped me to the person I am today, and the approach that I have now with everyone. Yeah.
Awesome. And isn't that such a rewarding piece about what we do
Right.
is, we play even if it's a small part in people's life story.
Yeah.
It's not just selling them a vehicle or selling them, some goods or something like that. This is something that they're going to build their families and make memories and go through, growth and downsizing. And so isn't it a fantastic experience to take a part in that?
Yes, they call me now. I'm their friends, and they call me for advice and help. They refer their friends. It's beautiful. Yes.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, cool. So talking about helping your clients become owners or helping them sell, for you, I know you take a lot of pride in ownership of your career, your home, your team, all that good stuff. So tell us a little bit about, what does it mean to you to be an owner, right? Your home, we own our brokerage, which is amazing. eXp Realty, we're all part owners. Your vehicle, your schedule. What does it mean to you to be an owner of something?
It's freedom. It's freedom. It's peace of mind. Like I said, I've always helped everyone else achieve their dreams. And yes, I have a few homes and I own my car. That gives you freedom, etc. Building equity. But with this brokerage, now I'm not only able to help others, I'm also able to help myself to fulfill my purpose in life, which is to be, closer to the Lord, have more time, and be a good mother and closer to them, and just be a more present person, just to overall have that time back. So with being a broker owner here at eXp has gave me that exit strategy that I've been seeking, because I've been busting my butt off since I was a teenager, and I'm ready to take it to the next level, which is the international market, and growing my team nationally, etc., etc. So with this broker, I actually have the perfect vehicle to align with the visions of the future that I have. So it means everything to me, means the world, literally.
For sure. I love it. I love it. And like I know here in the next upcoming weeks, those of y'all that are watching this, we're getting ready to go to our national convention in
Mhm.
Miami. And I was talking to you earlier before the interview, and I know you're going to be traveling, you're going to the West Coast, and then you're going to go to the East Coast, and then you're going to be going overseas. And all the while you're going to be enjoying the fruits of your labor and talking to other agents and helping build your brand, which
Mhm.
is amazing. So just like you said, that freedom to be able to do that, whether you're working from Texas, whether you're working from El Salvador, whether you're working from Florida, you're going to be able to network with others and have that freedom. So I love that.
Amen.
I love it.
Yes.
Very good. All right, awesome. So going back, this being your only career, with you as a young person, what inspired you to get into real estate? And what is the main reason you chose to partner with EXP in your real estate career?
So my mother was the reason why I decided to jump on real estate. She was a single mother, and she started her dream of home ownership when we lived in apartments and other people's homes that they would not allow us to have pets. And I used to want pets. My brother wanted a dog. I wanted chickens and ducks, and you know I wanted pets. I wanted all kinds of pets, and we just couldn't. So she bought her first home, and she bought us I had my duck, I had my chickens, he had his dogs. Anyway, in Los Angeles, California, just crazy, but nevertheless. um and then she just upgraded and she bought another one. And I remember my very first real estate transaction was when I was around 12, 13 years old, actually, when one of the properties she bought was an apartment complex, went under eminent domain because they were going to build a school. So I had to, like, she didn't speak the language. She spoke only Spanish. So I had to translate for her, read all the docs, and it just got me interested in that. And then she let me meet her realtors and her loan officers, and I kind of shadowed them. And I became a receptionist at a mortgage company while I was still in high school. So as soon as I turned 18, I decided, hey, I'm gonna get my license. This is what I want to do. But that's when the economy crashed and everything. The 2006, 7, 2008. It was so hard. But that's when I really jumped in here in San Antonio with the builder world. And even though, according to the industry, it was slow, it was actually really good for me. I was still selling homes. And so coming in at the hardest time was a blessing because it taught me how to grind. Like when I was, out there, like literally door knocking, making all those phone calls, doing all the things that new agents are supposed to do. People weren't really doing it. They told me about it, but they didn't do it. Like I didn't owe anybody in San Antonio. I went to all the businesses, to all the schools, had presentations. I was door knocking. I didn't care. I talked to everybody. And I saw that it was so easy for me to get clients, and that was it. And then why I chose EXP after all, the brokers that are available, once again, is because in the time frame and the place I am at now in my life, where I want to leverage and just have more availability and capability. It's a big tool, with all the technology that they offer and all the resources through accounting, just through team services. I have a whole team. I don't have to figure it out myself anymore. So I felt like EXP is where I need to be. And I know there's a lot of people coming in after trying to copy the model, but to me they're way too late. I see something huge happening in the real estate world now, that is going to require a lot of real estate to be sold, like I said, internationally. Right now I'm about to go to El Salvador, you just mentioned that, and Bitcoin city, Bitcoin beach. There's just so many things that are coming outside of America, and I feel like even EXP is too late. So to me, is the perfect time frame to to really go international and invest in this company, and I see that it's going to just soar and just knock everybody out the waters.
That's awesome. I
Mhm.
love it. What a great story. Um, you know, and I wish everyone watching, me personally, I wish I was thinking about getting into real estate when I was 18, 19, 20
Mhm.
years old. You had a great head start
Mhm.
on a lot of people. For a lot of people, real estate is their second, third, fourth career. And
Mhm.
for you, as jumping right into it, you're miles and miles ahead of a lot of agents. But now you take all that knowledge and all that experience and you pour it back and give it back to your agents that you're helping.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. So let's dig deep here. We're talking about re- real estate and how you got into the business and all that good stuff. But how has real estate and the real estate industry and even EXP really changed your life and the life of your loved ones and your family members?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting now that I never thought I was going to be growing a team. I never really cared to do so. But like I said, the opportunity with the XP, it makes it so easy that I decided to do so. And now even my family is involved. My daughter is getting her real estate license. My husband's a loan officer. And now all my team members, they're also my friends. And, we host Bible studies. We go eat together. We do life together. We work out together. So it's just building this community, and just having that sense of community and having one another, something that I was lacking, something that I was missing. So it has changed my life for the better, with health wise, mentally, spiritually, everything. It's been great.
That's awesome. And I love seeing you and your team. I love seeing y'all on your outings. I love seeing, you guys on your community outreach events.
Hmm.
Y'all give a lot back. Y'all do a lot for your community. You do a lot for the real estate community. So I
Yes.
love that. And it's always cool to see when the V International group shows up, the party's getting ready to get started. They're there to work, they're there to have fun, and they're there to help people. So I love that.
Amen.
Awesome,
Amen.
awesome. So cool. So wrapping up, so we've talked about a lot of deep stuff, getting into the business, talked about your family, talked about some of your past, getting into the business. But let's talk about something cool. If you could have dinner with one person, whether they're here or not here anymore, who would it be and why?
That was not a light one for me. That one's really, really deep for
That's a
me.
deep one. Okay, well let's get deep on it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, to me, yes, there's a lot of celebrities out there, etc. But I believe that, all of us within the spiritual realm are like superheroes for the Lord. So obviously, my biggest superhero is Joshua. So Jesus, that is who I want to meet one day, and that's why I do what I do, help others. Sometimes, even if I don't make any money, if I'm giving deals away, if I'm just, giving a word of advice and just being a shoulder to cry on, I just know that my reward is in heaven, and my reward is coming. Jesus is bringing me back with him. So to me, the only person I want to have supper with is with the Lord at the marriage supper of the Lamb. So that's why I just keep going, because I know that, it's not, I'm not trying to earn it because of grace, but Jesus is such a big superstar, and that's the only person that really inspires me to just keep pushing, keep having the faith, and just keep going.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
what an amazing answer. I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing all that. Well, Vilma, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I
Mhm.
think aren't you getting ready to travel later today? You're already getting ready
Today, yes, I'm
to hit the
taking my
road.
kids to Disney,
All
and
right.
I'm going to be hanging out with all the family and keeping you guys updated through social media.
Awesome. So yeah,
So
speaking of social media, so how can people find you? How can people follow you online? What are some of your handles on social media so that way people can follow you and your team?
yes, at theinternationalrealtygroup.com, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, at the International.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Vilma, thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you for sharing your story and sharing your experience. Thank you for being here on the Agent Experience. And guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Go follow Vilma, follow her journey. You will be inspired. I guarantee it. So Vilma, thank you so much. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Y'all take care. God bless. Thank y'all.